Okay. Everybody should be able to hear us on the old YouTube. I'll just double check that, while I'm here. Okay. Yes, everybody can hear us. Nice. Alright. So, we are here this week. Talk about week 4, right? Week 4?
Yep, week 4.
Week 4. And I'm not one much for intros, so we'll just start talking about some football.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to All the Rage Sports.
Yeah, there you go. Take it
There, I
over.
got you covered.
Yeah, thanks. Alright, so we'll start talking about some football. We're gonna move this along a little bit. Gonna try to keep it under an hour this week. We'll see. Hour and a half. So, some of the games that happened this week. The Thursday night game was the Cowboys and the Giants. Cowboys won 20-15. Um, it happened. The next
It
game
happened.
is
Absolutely riveting if you enjoy a good nap.
yeah.
Closer than it should have been, which tells you more about the Cowboys than anything.
That's really what it is. Can't wait to play the Giants in primetime at Heinz
What a-
Field in a couple weeks.
What a fucking dumpster fire of a division. Holy fuck.
Yeah, let's see. Looking at the scores here, the Cowboys had a touchdown, a field goal. The Giants had a field goal, 2 field goals, a field goal.
I was going to say, I don't think the Giants scored a touchdown.
No.
That is the Giants' offense.
Yeah. So, had they been able to score a touchdown, they probably would have won.
Sure would have.
Mathematically, yes, you are correct. Yes. They wouldn't have even needed the extra point, and I can confirm by the numbers.
Yeah,
you
that's
are
how
correct.
that works.
Yeah.
Okay, so other than that, Sunday's slate started with the Saints and the Falcons. It's an interesting game. It was 24-26. I was kind of surprised that the Falcons won. I did pick them, but I kind of thought that the Saints had a chance. A little shocking to me. But let me see. That makes them both 2-2. Nothing.
I mean, I'm not super surprised that it was a super close game. Division game. I feel like the teams are kind of even, too. Like Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins. What the hell's the difference, honestly?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Agreed. And then we had the Rams and the Bears. The Bears beating the Rams 24-18. I'm not sure.
I'm so disappointed in the Rams. Like, I get that they're decimated, but you can't lose to Caleb Williams. Like, you just can't do it.
That game was fucking bananas. Like,
yeah.
I was just like, at some point, I'm like, the Rams have to pull this out, right? No,
I kept saying that the whole time, and
yeah,
just
we were like,
never
yeah,
happened.
they'll be fine. Yeah, the
I wouldn't
Rams
be
are 1-3.
surprised to see Stafford get dealt before the fucking trade deadline.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame. I don't know who their backup is, though.
That would be.
Oh, good God. That'd be them folding for sure.
Their
but,
backup, I'm pretty sure, is Garoppolo.
Oh, yes.
That's right.
Garoppolo, Brock Purdy, so maybe they'll be all right.
Garoppolo, and then I'm pretty sure, the Rattler is on the practice squad over there or something. Is he still playing? I don't know if he's
he's quarterback 3 in New Orleans.
Oh, geez, I didn't realize that. For some reason, I thought he was in the Rams.
You're thinking about Stetson Bennett.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking that Carson Wentz was still there, but I'm pretty sure he's the backup on the Chiefs now.
Wentz is a backup on the Chiefs now.
He's 100%.
Indeed.
Yeah, because the joke about Stetson Bennett playing with Stafford is like they were great. That's great because they were teammates together in Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Overall, though, I don't know. I don't feel like this game bode well for the Rams' future at this point. Like, if they can't beat some of these teams that they're capable of beating, shit. Hold on.
Oh. His cats hate each other, so.
I wondered what the fuck that was.
Yeah, that way we just witnessed probably a murder in the back there. But I agree. Sucks for the Rams. They're 1-3. They have won one home game and lost all 3 away games that they've had. So, not looking good.
Yeah, not great, Clark.
Yeah, the Rams are pretty much an L, I think, this year, which makes I mean the 49ers pretty much just get the division, I guess.
It's pretty much handed to them. I mean,
Yeah.
the Seahawks and the Cardinals are a non-factor, but
Yeah.
the Seahawks will give them a little bit of a run for their money, I think.
Cardinals looked really good for like just a minute, and then that went away quickly. So, but they did look good for just a minute.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that because holy shit, they got decimated.
Yeah, they did. Without skipping over too much, since Jesse isn't here, I'll talk about the Steelers and the Colts. The Steelers lost their first game of the season, and I think what's weird about it is that me and probably a lot of other Steeler fans, for some reason, don't like. I feel like I don't know. I feel more hopeful even after a loss, just with how the team as in general did. I mean, it was our defense just didn't really show up, and we know that they can. So our offense is once again starting to finally do something. We had 3 touchdowns. This is the first time that a Steelers quarterback has had 300 yards and 3 touchdowns since Big Ben.
That's saying something.
It's not even just the Steelers quarterback. That is the team as a whole has not had a quarterback that had 300 yards and also scored 3 touchdowns, even outside of the quarterback, since Big Ben. So,
well, I knew your guys' goose was cooked because I joked to my father as soon as Flacco came in after.
I said the same thing.
Can we talk about how that roughing the passer call was absolute hog shit? And then Minka basically tries to kill a man, and they just look the other way.
Don't
and then
worry.
That man goes to the blue tent.
That game
but
was
it
much
ended up being
both sides. That game on the referees was both sides, and that's that was just horrible.
They sucked both ways.
Yeah, it was like I don't know what they were doing there. Like both teams can very easily complain about that shit.
Yeah, my exact remarks were, if there's anybody that knows jokingly, there's anybody who can beat the Steelers, it's Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Immediately takes them down the field and he scores a touchdown.
No, as soon as Flacco came in, I was very confident that we were going to lose. I was like, no, Flacco's the better quarterback on that team. I mean, that's just easy to say that. And as soon as Richardson went out, I was like, fuck.
I mean, Richardson was moving the ball and you guys pretty well.
Yeah, he was. But the thing with him is he's basically guaranteed to throw a pick 6, and he didn't have time to do that, which was unfortunate.
You're basically feeling the same way I was after the Panthers game.
Yeah.
It was just your defense didn't play a very good one, and you played the backup.
The offense is getting better and better every week. So I mean, it really that loss isn't something I'm necessarily worried about or anything like that. In fact,
but you may want to throw some pads on. You may be needed at offensive line.
Yeah, that is the unfortunate thing. We are very, very decimated at offensive line.
A lot of teams are.
It's really crazy how I feel like so many teams are just completely just decimated with injuries right now.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I feel like it has a lot to do with like the lack of a preseason. I don't the product that the NFL is putting out these last 2 years is just getting worse. I don't know. It's just everybody's getting injured. They need to figure out what that is and like see what they can do to fix that because it's just not good. Like this has just been terrible. The amount of injuries. Yeah. While you were gone, we just went over the Steelers and the Colts game. If there was anything you had to say about that.
Probably not, other than Flacco just coming in and looking better than Anthony Richardson, which is pretty sad. I mean,
yeah. It's really funny
He
because I
dude's
think,
how old?
yeah, I think most Steelers fans, as soon as Flacco came in, were like, well, rip.
Yeah, you were worried. Like, what does
I
that
was,
tell
I
you
was,
about
I was
Anthony
like,
Richardson?
that's what I'm saying. Is like clearly Flacco is the better quarterback on that team by a mile. It's really crazy that Richardson will probably be back. But
I believe
aside
he's
from that,
expected to start. I
yeah,
mean, they can't start Flacco over him. I mean, that'll look bad, but
yeah, yeah.
just because they should doesn't mean that they will.
Um, here's a game that's not worth talking about. It's the Broncos and the Jets. The Broncos won 10-9.
I mean, the Jets, though, like, are we
Well,
kidding?
yeah, that's true.
9 points. I get that the Broncos have a good defense, but you can't put up one touchdown.
Yeah,
Aaron
the
Rodgers on the
Oh, Nick,
sidelines just.
and let me just verify, just to verify.
I'm pretty sure
Bo
Bo
Nix,
Nix had like 50 yards.
no, no, don't discount him. 12 for 25, 60 yards. One
Yeah,
touchdown.
he threw 60 yards in that game, and the
How do
Jets
you win
didn't
a
win.
game? Yeah,
He
how do you
took
win a game throwing 60 yards? I don't understand.
he took probably 25. He took 21 more pass attempts than Tim Tebow would take in a game and got the same amount of yards.
Yeah,
At least
yeah.
Tebow would have like ran a little bit, but
Well, Knicks can move around a little bit. I think it's a weird situation. I think he'll actually, I hate to say it, it's almost like choking on poison, but I think he might be a serviceable NFL quarterback. He might actually be decent. It's just
Yeah,
he's very young and,
I mean, yeah, he's a rookie. It's
he's,
way too
yeah, he's
early.
starting as a
yeah,
rookie and
He doesn't have a lot
I don't
around
think
him either.
yeah.
no, he has Cortland Sutton.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yep,
Name another receiver on the Broncos.
I can't, but what's the Jets' excuse though? Like, you
Yeah,
can't lose to that team. Like, if you want to be taken seriously, Jets, which no, I can't take them seriously because they're the Jets. But if you want to be taken seriously, you can't lose to the Broncos. A rookie quarterback on the road. That's just the worst spot for them.
yeah, and not just lose. They didn't score a touchdown. Like,
Yeah,
couldn't
well,
even score. Um, 3 field goals is all they could put up.
granted, they did get into field goal range, and Greg Zuerlein missed a game-winning field goal, but it shouldn't come down to that.
I mean, that would have been just as embarrassing as this loss.
Yeah,
So,
I mean it's mile high, but I believe it was
No, it
from
was
like
actually in New York. Yeah,
oh, it was? Yeah, shit,
yeah,
my bad. Yeah, it was in New York and it was from like 50 plus, I believe. So
yeah. It was a long one, but and the
definitely not easy.
weather wasn't great either.
Yeah, if you put yourself in that position, you probably deserve to lose.
Yep, no doubt.
well, and
But I
then
mean, Broncos are just kind of scrappy though. I feel like this is going to keep happening. I feel like they're going to just randomly just pick off teams that you don't expect.
Their defense is actually it's probably like top three in the NFL right.
yeah,
Like they are. I think they actually might be first in points against, especially after this fucking game. But
yeah,
Right.
I'm making 90% of stats are made up on the spot.
yeah, that's fine. If they aren't first, then we probably are. Well, we probably fell a little bit after last week, but
I know we're up there
our
somewhere.
like our
Maybe
like
not
average
numbers.
points against before this week was like 9. Oh, yeah, the Broncos are interesting. I don't know. Bo Nix could actually be decent after a little bit of time. It's hard to say. He looked terrible the first few weeks, but I feel like he's progressing along better than Caleb Williams is, so there's that. Um, yeah. So the next game is on my list is the Eagles and the Buccaneers. Rip. The Eagles lost 16-33. Uh, Getting in a big hole off the rip. It was 24-7 at the half.
Yeah, it literally looked like they were disinterested in being there. Like the second they heard that AJ Brown and Lane Johnson weren't playing, I feel like the team just like, all right, we're just mailing it in. Like that's literally what it looked like, which is inexcusable and absolutely pathetic.
Yeah.
It's like for one thing, the entire defense was healthy and fine. There was no excuse for them to be getting completely torched. But instead, fucking Vic Fangio just has all the corners lining fucking like 10 yards off the receiver, and literally Baker Mayfield's just snapping the ball and throwing quick shit immediately. And the Eagles are just missing tackles left and right, and they literally did that down the field all fucking day. Like, I just don't understand. Like, the offense, I understand because they have fucking no one to throw to. Like that's understandable. But come on, the defense to get completely destroyed, like I don't understand.
Yeah, that did kind of come out of nowhere. And the Buccaneers have flashes. I think this was one of their flashes. They have some games this year that they look like garbage, and then they have some games where they're putting up 30 some points. So you
Yeah, I
just
kind of
caught
feel
them
like
in
that's just like the
at a worse
team
week.
literally caught them at the wrong. Unfortunately, it was like 100 degrees outside, so that benefited them pretty dramatically. But
Well, yeah, but
I think you're going to continue to see this trend too, where it's just going to be teams where, I mean, the Eagles probably are have a slight edge as far as talent, and probably in the long term scheme of things, as long as Sirianni can maybe get the fuck out of his own way, they
that'd
should
be
go
cool.
deeper in the playoffs theoretically than the Buccaneers should in a vacuum. I
yeah,
won't say
Should, but will they? I
on
don't know.
paper, but this has
Coaching.
just been such. I can't remember such a strange fucking up and down, just topsy turvy season where it's like anything can happen on any given week.
yeah, that season has been nuts.
Like I feel like for a couple of years where it wasn't like that, where there were certain games where it's like there's no fucking way here,
Yeah,
and it's just now where everything's fucking weird.
it is an any
A
given
lot of
Sunday
trap games,
type of league this year, for sure.
lots and lots of trap games.
All right, so after the Eagles and that little bit of a
We're here
dumpster
for you, by the way,
fire,
buddy.
yeah,
Thanks. I need all the emotional support I can get.
we've all been there.
Luckily, I don't have to watch them play this week, so
It is a
I
bye.
got to wear my hat. I was the only one that won this week.
yeah, you're the only one that can wear it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That is true. Um, the next game was the Bengals and the Panthers. Uh, the Panthers and Andy Dalton were looking good at first. I don't think they ever had a lead, but they kept up. It was 34 to 24. Um, I just don't think that the Bengals are good. So, oh boy, they
They
beat the
aren't, but the
Panthers.
Panthers are just like a bottom tier roster,
Yeah,
so they're gonna beat
yeah,
them at the bare minimum. But
yeah.
I mean, Andy Dalton turned the Panthers into at least a competent team. Not a great, obviously not a good team, but at least a team that's not just going to get run over every week. So that's at least
Yeah,
good from a competitive standpoint. But
right.
I mean, the Bengals. I mean,
Bryce
they really had.
Young will be holding a tablet on the sideline for the rest of his career, if he even has one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
assuming he stays in the league at all.
Assuming he's on the sideline.
Wow, yeah, exactly.
Um,
Thank God they gave away the rights to basically draft C.J. Stroud for that.
yeah, well, jeez. I mean,
That was a choice. David
yeah.
Tepper for you.
What
That,
you don't
that
think
was a
that
choice.
the 6 foot, 180 pound quarterback is not going to be good?
Who'd have thought?
Listed
Weird,
at 6 foot. It was
weird.
probably like 5 foot.
Yeah, that he's tiny, man. Like Kyler Murray's tiny, but he's at least like kind of thick. He's like he has muscle on
Yeah.
his body. Like that Bryce Young dude. Like it's who looked at him and thought this is our
Plays
franchise
football. Yeah, I
quarterback.
know.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
The next
experts who make a
game.
lot more money than us.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
yeah. I could
Keep
have
that in mind.
gave them that
All
fucking
the rage
bust.
scouting coming to you soon.
Yeah. Okay, so the next game was the Jags and the Texans. The Jags lost 20 to 24. Um, Jags are really bad, but I also don't think the Texans are that good.
No, I also agree. I just the Texans look kind of lackluster. Yeah, they beat the Jags. Like, congratulations, here's your medal. But it's just like I don't know. Like, how good are the Texans actually? Like, they've been like the ops or the preseason darling of the NFL, and I really feel like they've yet to fully put it together.
Yeah.
Like anytime that
I
they've
think
played
it's
like a semi-competent defense, they aren't moving the ball too well at all.
classic sophomore slump, but I think they have a competent coaching staff with D'Amico Ryans. The talent's there on defense. Will Anderson, the Danielle Hunter that they traded for in the offseason. This team, I think they might be a real slow starter, but they're going to hit their stride at some point.
Yeah.
And I mean, they should at the very least run away with this division.
I mean, they are 3 and
Definitely.
1, but I
Well,
just don't
yeah,
feel
but
like
they
they
could easily
are.
be 2-2, though. I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah, I don't feel like they're as flashy as people anticipated them to be this year.
Well,
The
isn't
Jags,
Mixon
though,
hurt,
like
isn't he?
yikes.
Yeah. I get it's a division game, but you're almost losing to the Jags, and the Jags probably scored more points in that game than they did on the season as a whole prior to this. So, you can't be doing that. The Jags may have the number one pick. I don't know. I think
They have
Doug
way more
Peterson
talent.
is
Like,
gone, and I give it like 2 more weeks, and Doug Peterson's gone.
is it that bad? It
Yeah.
might be that bad.
It seems that way. Everything I'm seeing is it
Well,
does seem that way.
unfortunately, because they have so much invested into Trevor Lawrence, if he's not like taking the next step, then that someone's going to be falling on the sword for that one. I'm afraid, and it ain't going to be Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. Um, yeah, so that is that game. Yeah, the Jags. I don't know. They're just bad. I think I saw a thing today. Gronk was on a podcast or something talking about how he thinks that Bill Belichick will pick up the phone for the Jags if they fire Dougie.
And
Eh,
not in the middle of the season. There's no way.
yeah. He is living his
No,
best life on
I
like
was gonna say,
commentating. I think he's fine. I don't know that I mean, he
He's not
probably
going
would
to go to
like to, but
Jacksonville anyway. If he coaches again, he wants to stay in the Northeast, is what I've heard anyway. So
yeah.
I don't know. He's a fucking retiree. I think he'd like to go to the sunny skies, and that's where old people
you
go.
would think that, but I'm pretty sure a lot of his family is like in the
Well,
Northeast, probably because he's been in Massachusetts for forever. So,
what if Robert
They're
Sala
rich, and they
doesn't
make these
last?
things called
well,
jets.
yeah,
If Robert
fair.
Sala doesn't last, does Bill Belichick go to the Jets?
Out of
Absolutely
spite, now
not.
that would be hilarious.
No, I don't. I don't think there's any way that regardless of how it ended, and maybe any feelings that he might have for Kraft or Brady or whatever. That would be like the ultimate. Like we always joke that he was like fucking Palpatine and just like the
Yeah,
ultimate Sith Lord.
yeah.
That would be the Sith Lord
That would be
move.
letting the hate consume him, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I
Um,
mean, I'd live for it, but
the
I do
unlike
think he probably
Commanders.
coaches again next year, though. I do.
Yeah,
Bill Belichick, that is.
I think there's a
he seems
chance.
to be
It's
really enjoying like co-host, like he's a guest on like McAfee shit all the time, and
Yeah. It was odd
I
to
mean,
me
he
that there
could
were
change
so
his
many
mind.
openings over this
That no one
offseason,
wanted him.
and nobody
You
wanted
know,
him for a reason.
that's definitely
Yeah.
a red flag. Yeah.
So, there were so many openings. And I'm pretty sure he interviewed for like half of them. And, yeah. Anyways, the Commanders and the Cardinals. Commanders 42 to the Cardinals 14. The Cardinals got absolutely shat upon.
I was so
Um,
disappointed in that game. Like I had high expectations of that being like a high scoring back and
yeah,
forth game where the Cardinals literally just come out and just lay an egg completely. I'm just like,
yeah.
okay. Like is Washington this good or did the Cardinals just not show up? I'm not sure which one it is.
It's hard to say.
well, you continue to look like an oracle because 26 for 30, 233, a touchdown and a pick. Yeah, Jaden Daniels was four incompletions away. One of them being to the other team, which that's to be expected. That's the Jaden Daniels experience if you watched him in college. Yeah, he continues to look more and more like the real fucking deal and probably rookie of
Yeah.
the year every fucking day, every passing week.
Yeah, they look good. The Commanders do not look bad. That's
They
um,
might be better than my fucking garbage team right now. So
they could be. They could be. It's
I would be sweating whenever you guys have to play them.
how
we
long is
lose
it
to
till
them
you
even
play them?
whenever they got fucking like
Well,
Case Keenum out there or whoever the fuck
Carson
Yeah,
Wentz.
it's a division game.
division.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Commanders are looking good. The Cardinals are now 1-3. Commanders at 3-1 after that game. Um, they look good. Jaden Daniels looks good. The
Cardinals might be
Patriots and
done.
the 49ers. Not much to say here. The Niners played the Patriots 30-13.
Oh,
Niners
come
are.
on. There's got to be something. You guys have to, say something bad about Brock Purdy. It's tradition.
Well, I mean,
Okay, fine. He played the
he played the
Patriots and his
Patriots.
stats were
Yeah.
probably mediocre. And
This means nothing.
so they finally played a bottom tier team, so that made him look good.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Uh,
288 again and a touchdown and a pick doesn't make you feel good, even though it's against the Patriots.
Nope.
It's almost 300 yards.
How are you going to throw a pick against the Patriots, bro? Okay, good.
You guys are just fucking haters for being the sake of haters.
Um, fuck you. Yeah, the Niners are now 2 and
That's
2.
fair.
After that, the Patriots are 1 and 3.
And who have the Niners beaten exactly? The Jets and the
The
Patriots. Okay,
Jets
good.
and the Patriots. Oh wow.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Top tier.
Top tier shit.
Super Bowl favorites. Yeah.
What I hear.
Oh, and since Jay's walked away, we'll go over the Chiefs and the Chargers. 17 to 10 Chiefs. Uh, that
West.
game did not. That was not. I don't know. There wasn't. I just didn't feel like I cared about that game a ton. It
It's
wasn't
because it was
great.
just like very low scoring, not super exciting, not a lot happening. Rashid
Boring.
Rice died.
Yeah. Oh
Justin
yeah.
Herbert was like hobbled the
Yeah,
whole game. They
yeah,
probably
because of
shouldn't
his
have
own
Mahomes.
played him.
quarterback.
Mahomes sold his soul to the devil and killed Rashee Rice because of it.
That's how they won and now have no weapons.
Which, by the way, Jason and I talked about this earlier at work. There is still no news on Rashee Rice's
This makes
knee.
no sense.
There
How?
is a solid chance that there is no damage actually done, and that he could be back
Could
in a
you
few
imagine?
weeks. From everything I'm seeing, that the fact that there is not a confirmation on an ACL at this point, pretty much suggests that probably isn't an ACL.
Yeah, I
I feel
figured
like they have something happen like this where it looks like something gruesome happens. So like, I feel like it's actually happened to like Kelsey and Mahomes both. Like Mahomes nursed that bad ankle. What was it?
The whole
Their first Super
season,
Bowl,
yeah,
rather.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and this just keeps continuing to happen. Yeah, the Chargers scored 10 points in the first quarter and then did not score again the rest of the game.
yeah. That is true. Um,
I'm just not sure why the Chargers even bothered like throwing Herbert out there. They have their bye week this week. It's just like they might as well just sat him, let him
he's
get
hurt.
healthy. They
Yeah,
probably weren't beating. They literally didn't win anyway. So at hindsight is 2020, sure. But if they would have just sat him, they'd still be in the same spot, and he'd be slightly healthier coming out of the bye.
Yeah, considering the NFL had already suspended Derwin James for one game,
Well, yeah. So maybe just take the L that you're gonna probably take anyway, and get healthy and give yourself a chance in this later on in the season.
yeah.
Yeah, no points scored in the third quarter, and then the Chiefs scored. I feel like it was like late, and then the Chargers just obviously fucking
Yeah.
with her.
Yeah, I don't know. The Chargers just aren't very good. And this is a division game, so it's gonna be low scoring. I also just don't think, like, I mean, the Chiefs have nothing on offense.
I was about to
Uh,
say the Chiefs also have like no weapons as
Mahomes
usual.
doesn't even look that great this year. I mean, he's literally thrown a pick in every single game.
I
Uh,
believe so.
yeah, and like his stat, like I literally was on Twitter earlier, and there's like literally stat comparisons where like Justin Fields is performing better than him stat wise right now. Like he has more yards, he has more touchdowns, he has less interception. Like Justin Fields, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous that they're even being compared. But like that's the stats are like that just kind of shows it speaks more to Pat Mahomes and what he's been able to do because he's the miracle worker Pat Mahomes and
Well, you know what he has in well, the one stat he has over Fields is refs paid. So
that is true. That is true. They are just one call away from winning a game every week, and they seem to get it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, when it counts.
so
They've basically just turned into like a defensive and run the football team, but unfortunately they don't have a running back
don't even have
anymore.
anyone to
So
run anymore. So
now they're just a defense team.
yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty crazy that they're 4-0, but they are the Chiefs, and they do like to get handed wins.
These
So
injuries though have to catch
It's
up to them
it's
eventually.
crazy. It's crazy that it's 2024 and Kareem Hunt is a Kansas City Chief once again.
yeah. Yeah, they don't really have any other options. Clyde Edwards-Helaire should be coming back soon. I
That's
think
just gonna make
he's
their
back
backfield even
to
more like a disaster.
yeah, I think he's
Yeah,
back to practice this week.
yeah.
He
Ooh, Clyde
yeah.
Edwards-Helaire, Carson Steele, and Kareem
Kareem
Hunt,
Hunt.
who is
yeah,
80
Don't
years
forget
old.
P Ryan.
and CEH was never really that good, so
No.
not
Samaje
someone to be
Perine has
worried
not
about.
had a run over 10 yards this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right.
That is an actual
P Ryan.
stat.
Yeah. Um. Uh. The next game is the Bills and the Ravens. I was excited about this one. I thought this was going to be a good game, and the Bills shit the bed. Watching that game, it was really interesting because, the Ravens were just killing them going into the half, and the Bills come out of the half, and they look like they are completely rejuvenated. They come out, go right down the field, score. They're all excited. Everybody looks like, all right, we came here to play. The Ravens come out of the half, and after the Bills score, they go down and score themselves, and then the Bills just proceeded to completely fall apart. They just they had like one drive of hope, and then it all just fell away. It was kind of sad to watch. They were so excited coming out of the half, getting that touchdown, and then they just looked like shit the rest of the game. Because I even said to Jesse, I texted him, and I was like, oh, fucking, because he was over here and he went home at the half, and I was like, wait a minute, it could get interesting here, because the Bills look like they're like a
I
whole
know.
new
I didn't even
team.
turn it on until you said something.
And I was like, they just came out and fucking went right down the field, and looks like they could be a whole different team this half. And the Ravens like to lose games in the second half, so I thought maybe there was a chance. There wasn't. The Bills were terrible.
That is true. Yeah, I thought this game was actually going to be like a little bit closer.
Should have
But
been.
no, one of those ones where you could pretty much close your eyes after the third quarter and just call it a night on Sunday night.
Uh, Pretty
I can't help but
much.
feel like this is like tells me a lot about the Bills, though. Like, yeah, they beat up on like a bunch of mediocre teams, but whenever they play like any competent team, here they are. Like until they beat these teams, they can't really be taken seriously.
Yeah, let's see. It was 47-10 against the Jags.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
put
One
up
of the worst teams in
31
football.
points against the Dolphins.
Also, one of the
So,
worst teams in football.
and
And
that
the
is
Cardinals, who
there.
clearly aren't that great.
Yeah, put up 34 points against the
So
Cardinals.
maybe, I mean, it's 1 week, one bad week. It was a bad spot for the Bills, but maybe don't crown the Bills yet. It's only September. I guess it's October now, but
The Bills do play the Texans this week. Could be an
that
interesting
should
game.
be more interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so that game was something. Uh, Obviously, the Ravens got the win. The Bills
Derrick
just
Henry
shit the bed.
basically just ran them all over all night.
Derrick Henry has
Pretty
not
sure he had
lost
like
a
200
step.
yards.
He like did you see like some of like the SpongeBob memes of like the running and it's like got DeMar Hamlin's face and like Derrick Henry's just
No,
like
but I'm
gone.
upset that I didn't see it.
Yeah,
It's good. Yeah. No, none of the young safeties that are 7 years younger than Derrick Henry or more could catch up to him. I mean, he literally ran the entire field and just he outran them all.
I mean, be real. What were they going to do when they caught up to him?
Well,
I mean,
that's also fair. That's
that
True.
I will say, like everybody is, especially from a fantasy perspective. I feel like the years have gone by, and like people like Derrick Henry slips further and further down when he really hasn't ever been injured. It's just like, oh, he has to start falling off at some point. And here he is. He hasn't been, he's been rode hard and put away wet. Like he has been a bell cow running back,
yeah.
and
I
he's
just
still
don't
doing
know
it at a
how.
very fucking high level.
I don't know how he's even holding up, and I'll be shocked if he does actually hold up like by the end of this season. But my God,
Yeah.
granted, he hasn't been like spectacular this season. That was like his first like, oh, Derrick Henry's a Raven game, but I don't know, man. Like he's still got it until further notice.
Well, it'll. I feel like it'll appear in pops, and they'll use it sparingly, and then
Yeah.
during the stretch run, then they're going to lean on him, and at that point, it's going to be okay. Who's going to run the ball? Is it going to be Lamar or Derrick Henry?
Yeah. The next game was one of the Monday night games. Please tell me this is the end of this. Is this the end of the stupid two Monday night? I hate two Monday night
I
games.
believe so.
I believe so.
We also, I think, have a London game next week, if
Yes.
I'm not mistaken. So there's an early game.
It'll be Sunday like 9, I believe.
I don't remember who plays it, but
Not
I'll have to
not to
look.
The
interrupt.
Jets and the
Did you
Vikings.
gloss over the Browns Raiders game?
I did, because you stepped away. But yes, the Browns and the Raiders. Go
Yeah,
for
not
it.
a lot to say.
Not a lot to say.
Devontae
Yeah.
Devontae once traded, but if we manage to win without Max or Devontae, it was kind of weird because I know Max for a fact doesn't want out or anything. Hopefully, that would be enough to push me over the edge. But
That man is a
no,
Raider. I don't know. I don't foresee him ever
yeah,
going anywhere unless like
yeah.
they
But
just refuse to pay him.
Devontae is confused because Devontae still hasn't come out and publicly said that he wants traded. He's just said it's always some drama or some bullshit or something at his press conference, and it's just been like a big rumor mill. And he was still on the sidelines, so
Yeah.
I can't have anything nice.
What was
Yeah,
that
we
I said the other day? The Devontae Adams, in parentheses hamstring, but instead is it in parentheses doesn't want to play for the Raiders
you
on the sideline.
fuck you, but you're kind of
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
No, yeah, we managed to pull it out though, and it was kind of cool. I might have you guys might have seen the video, but Charles Snowden, the backup who was replacing Crosby last week, we did not have a very good pass rush, and our defense, thankfully, only held him to 16 points, and we were just able to get past him. But his parents were watching at home, and he was able to get like the game-winning sack, and they were just absolutely fucking loose.
Oh, nice.
It was like
Yeah, I
one of
love
Amazing.
those,
that.
like, yeah, it's really cool to see moments.
Yeah, you love that. Yeah, the Devontae, we may as well touch on that while we're here. Devontae Adams trade. It's interesting. He's asked to be traded. It also, like I had talked to Jace about this earlier. One of the things with that is that he next year he has to get paid, and he's gonna want a new contract, and
He's
he's
like
gonna want it to
32
be
though.
all guaranteed. So it's like if you're trading
31.
for him, you have to realize that it's basically a 1 year rental unless you want to pay him like every top receiver, all guaranteed a year after that when he's 32. You
I
know,
don't think there's any way that he's making anywhere near top receiver money at his age. Like
you
all
would
the people that
hope.
got the big contracts are like early to mid 20s. Like he's 31. Like there's
You
no
would
way.
think not
I
at this
mean,
point.
he's a he's older, but like I feel like if he goes to the right situation and gets like a really like elite quarterback to pair with, like he can still fucking ball. Like he can still
Oh, I'm not
go.
saying that
It's
he's
Yeah.
not like he's
washed, but
lost
you
it.
can't pay a guy that you're expecting to decline at any moment.
It's
I know, but he's. It's not like he's gonna. He's still gonna want damn near close to that. I feel like.
I agree. I think that
I
that's
mean, you
what he
can
would
want
want.
things. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean you're going to get them.
But the problem is if a
I'm
team
not.
gives
I'm
up a
not
second
disagreeing with
round
you.
pick to get him and then next year doesn't feel like paying him, it's what's the point of sending a second round pick to have him for a year?
I don't think that it's going to
Um,
cost a second round pick to get him, honestly.
I don't really think so either. The Raiders, they're like, we want that, and then um,
Well, that's a
Well, I
starting
mean,
point. That's
there's no I mean, we don't have to trade him. Like
yeah,
we can
well,
just
now you don't even have to
try
trade
it
him,
out.
so
and
you can
I
snuff
feel
him
like,
there for all you
and
care.
I feel like that's what Telesco is going to do. It's going to be like if the price is right and there's something that's in it for us, then we will do it. And I don't think there's actually, if he really truly does want traded and the rumors are substantiated, which they seem to be, I don't think it's really a thing where there's like bad blood. I think it's very much like him going like, hey, I'm 31 years old.
I want to
You guys are
play ball.
not set up to win right now. I came here to play with Derek Carr and he got shipped out and he's just like, look, like they're gonna look for something that benefits him and the team equally. And if it's not there, then it's not there. And his hamstring will probably magically heal after November 5th, and he'll play out the rest of the year, and then we'll see where it goes.
Yeah,
Well, my thing is why didn't like if this was going to happen, then why didn't they just trade him during the off season? Because we're only a couple weeks into the season, and this is already a story. Like, well, if this, how do you feel differently after a couple games?
yeah.
I just don't understand.
That's why I like, and I now mind you, I haven't watched or really been on Twitter. I know Pierce had his press conference today,
Yeah,
and I
because he
haven't.
liked to post about Devontae wanting a trade like an
Which
idiot
is
on
like rule number
Instagram.
one: what not to do as a head
Yeah,
coach.
Yeah, well, I think that was probably I bumped it with my thumb or something like that. But
Sure, he did.
literally they asked
yeah,
him in the press conference if he did it on accident. He said, "I'm on to Denver." He just pulled a fucking Belichick. I was like, dude.
Okay, bro.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
But
just say like, oh yeah, my kids got a hold of it or something. Just lie. You're a Raider. Fucking act like it.
That's right.
we will
But
see
now,
with Devontae. I don't know.
Wish him nothing but the best. No ill will at all.
And from the Raiders' perspective, I think trading him is the
It
best thing
makes
for
sense.
them. They
Yeah.
don't really need him being on the team isn't really helping them long
Yeah.
term. So
I think that's the biggest thing too, and I agree with that. That it's in the Raiders' best interest to trade him. I think. Like I, even before he even asked for a trade or anything, like you and I were talking about this. Like it's just kind of in their best interest. I think. Like they can get something out of him. He's getting older. He is gonna need paid next year. Like you may as well get something out of him, even if it's a third or a fourth or a whatever. You know, why? Like there's not any reason to keep him on the team this year. So why not?
Um, I'm certainly not going to declare it dead. I mean, we're like a fringe wild card team at the ceiling, but
Yeah.
I mean, a good trade, gets him somewhere where he's going to be somewhere where you're probably, depending on the situation, he's pretty much guaranteed a conference championship at the very least.
Yeah.
And we could also get something that helps us down the road and possibly, get a piece
Yeah.
for this year, like people were saying.
I think it's a mutually
Send,
beneficial
send him,
thing.
send him to the Jets. We'll take Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
could you imagine if the Jets were that stupid to send a young wide receiver for him? My
Yeah.
God.
But it's the Jets, and they are that stupid.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
That's
No.
the
I.
team that Aaron Rodgers is basically doing the LeBron and pulling the strings from behind the scenes, and he'll have
If Aaron Rodgers were running the show, that would 100% happen.
Oh
So.
yeah. After that fumble last week, Salah's gone, Garrett Wilson's traded.
Yeah.
Rodgers is the coach and the quarterback, and then nothing to see here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I actually saw something. It was funny that you say this for them to send you Garrett Wilson because I saw someone on Twitter that was like, "Who says no?" And it's a trade that like the Steelers send George Pickens and like a third for Devonte Adams, and I'm just like, what do you mean? Like that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Who the like I think it was probably just somebody farming engagement, but I was just like, what the fuck is that? Why am I seeing this on my timeline? Like get out of here.
I'm sorry, but I wouldn't want that
Uh,
because George Pickens is a crash out, and he would last approximately 30 seconds.
yeah. Yeah, Vegas probably wouldn't do too well for him.
No,
Um,
no.
No, definitely not.
all right, so the two final games, the Monday night games, the Titans and the Dolphins. Not really much to
Feel bad
say
for any of you
here.
who watched that.
Yeah, could not have been me. Somehow the Titans
Oh,
scored
come
31
on!
points,
You,
but
you
that just
can't you can't
shows.
tell me you can't sit here and lie to me and say you weren't didn't have a tear in your eye watching Mason Rudolph fling the fucking thing around. Oh my God! I didn't
Yeah.
realize how bad the Mason was 9 for 17 for 85 yards,
Mm.
and Tyler Huntley was 14 for 22 for 96 yards.
Elite teams
I mean, I
here.
had a tear in my eye watching the Dolphins' offense. It was about as bad as you can
Yeah,
imagine.
as a Tyreek
You
Hill owner.
bad.
As a Tyreek Hill fantasy owner, I'd watch Tyler Huntley just lob a ball, overthrow Tyreek Hill somehow, wide open, touchdown. Would have been like 20 points. Instead, he's got like 6.
Yeah, that
Thank
is
God.
tough for fantasy owners of Tyreek Hill. I don't know what to tell you about that. I
Nothing. Pray the
guess,
Tua comes back, and that's all you
yeah.
can do.
Pray that Tua comes back, and then pray that he plays in a bubble.
Yep.
And then
I'd wear the Guardian cap if I were him.
the last game, and one of the better games I think on the week was the Seahawks and the Lions. Um, Lions 42, Seahawks 29. The Seahawks kind of started a little bit slower, but the Lions were looking great. I think the Seahawks defense is not that good,
They
clearly.
got gashed all night.
Yeah, they got wrecked.
The Lions literally ran down their throats all
Yeah.
night. It was real bad.
Jared Goff has touchdown reception.
Yeah, he was
Um,
18 for 18 on the night.
yeah, he
Didn't throw
was
an incompletion.
perfect. Yes, he did not
And
throw
Dan
a.
Campbell after the game didn't give him the game ball because he didn't realize that he was perfect. And then
I
he was
saw,
like, "Fuck."
I saw that at the press conference. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, how do you feel about Jared Goff being 18 for 18 and being perfect on the night? He's like, are you kidding me? I just gave the game ball to somebody else. I feel terrible now. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
you want to play a fun? Let's play a fun game. You
Oh,
ready?
okay, ready.
Jared Goff has more receiving touchdowns. Hang on, I'm still going down the list and getting like the notables. Um, Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Jared Goff has more receiving touchdowns than Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
He has
Oh,
more
good.
receiving touchdowns than Travis Kelsey.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He has, let's see here, more than fuck that. The list gets pretty. Tyler Boyd, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry. Yeah, there's a lot of notables on there, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was my favorite stat of
Yeah.
this year so
A lot
far.
of tight ends, aka tight ends are useless, I'm
Yeah.
afraid.
Yeah,
Kelsey.
unless their name is Brock Bowers.
Hmm.
Kelsey, I think, is going to have some sort of a bounce back, so fantasy owners of Kelsey can rejoice a little bit because I don't think there's any
Well,
other
They
option.
don't have anyone else to throw to.
So he will be forced
I love how
to
it took
do
Rashid
well.
Rice getting hurt for them to even look at him though.
well, he might be just so heartbroken over the breakup that was scheduled to be happening anytime soon.
Yeah,
Right.
that was supposed to happen on my birthday.
I,
Did not.
if Taylor Swift causes the downfall of the Chiefs, I will become a Swiftie. You can put that on
Well,
record.
the reality is, and I think that it's like genuinely like actually a thing, is that like Kelsey is in 80,000 commercials. He's hosting some stupid game show. He's in some TV show that's on right now where he's like a second actor in it, and has like a main character in this like fucking TV drama show, whatever the fuck that is. And he's just doing so much shit that like I genuinely just think that he's actually just turned to kind of ass because he just isn't even focusing on football at all. Like I think not only is he getting older, but it's just like he's just like just be too busy doing other bullshit. Like he's literally everywhere. It's obnoxious. He's hosting some stupid fucking game show now. Are you smarter than a celebrity or some bullshit? It's like, yes, Travis Kelsey, I'm pretty sure everyone is probably smarter than your dumbass. This isn't a question. But, yeah, I feel like that's part of the reason that he's just kind of been dying out this year. That and all the other actual football
Then he's like
reasons, but
35, and Mahomes claims they're double covering him every time, which I'm
yeah.
not sure that they are, but
Yeah.
You can't tell me even at his best, that man looks like he's moving with cement shoes on. You can't tell me you have to double him every fucking play.
Yeah.
Like, I sit here and scream at my TV as he's gashed the Raiders over the years and been like, just sign me to a 10-day every time they play the Chiefs. You can't tell me that I wouldn't look faster on camera than that man.
Yeah.
He somehow, as an elite athlete, manages to get open while he looks like he is moving in fucking quicksand.
Same thing Gronk was like. Gronk was the
Now,
same way. He was just a big
Gronk
man.
at least Gronk, was not very good at like stopping and starting and like moving through. He was very good at like
That's the
finding the
difference.
slot
Yeah.
patterns.
Travis
But like
can run routes at least, so he's
Gronk,
got that.
Gronk had wheels when he would get up to full speed. Like
Yeah.
when Kelsey's at full speed, he still looks like I bet your granny, like with her walker, is probably like 2 steps behind him.
Yeah. Let's run through a couple of the games for next week, and then we'll go over our rankings. Let's see if there's anything interesting here. Tampa and Atlanta.
that's a
Jets.
tough one.
Yeah, that is a tough one. I don't know who I'm gonna take with that. The Jets and the Vikings. That is the London game. I would assume that the Vikings and old Sammy Dimes are gonna chop them up.
Yeah, do we want to like go through and just make picks real quick here?
Yeah, we
We can
can.
make some picks if you want.
Yeah.
I mean,
Browns.
I got the Buccaneers. And
Yeah.
probably you're right about the Vikings.
Yeah.
I think. Are we going through every game picking?
Yeah. Yeah. Why not?
I think I'd take Atlanta in that one.
Yeah. I
Oh, fuck you, Bush.
I don't know. Atlanta's favored.
I don't have a great reason why. It's just a division game and they're at home. And the
Yeah.
Bucks, I feel like, are very capable of being up and down. So
That's fair.
Yep. So I'd probably also go Atlanta on that one. Obviously, I think the Vikings is probably everyone feels that way. The Browns at Washington.
oof.
That should be the Commanders, I would think.
Should be, but I wouldn't be like. A part of me is just like, you know what? I could just see the Browns just coming out of nowhere and beating them, but
Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't pick them to do it.
Yeah.
I can't pick Deshaun Watson to win football games.
No.
Commanders for me.
Yeah,
Yep.
Commanders for me as well.
Yeah, while the reigning defensive player of the year plays 6 snaps.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
defensive player of the fucking year. Uh, Ravens at Cincinnati. I think this one's pretty clear that it's the Ravens. Cincinnati looks like shit, but it is a division game, and the AFC North is wild anytime
You
there's
have
a
to feel
matchup.
like
So,
these teams probably end up splitting, though. Like,
yeah,
I feel like that's usually what happens. I could be wrong, but
it typically is. I mean, pretty much everybody splits except everybody beats the Browns. I mean, that's typically
right.
how it goes. So, um, I don't know. It's hard to say. I would imagine that the Ravens win that, but the Ravens could also have a little bit of a fall from grace. It's hard to say. I don't even know who I'd pick
This
for
might
it.
be like the hardest game yet to pick. I
Yeah.
don't even have a
I
clue.
I'm gonna roll with Cincy just on the hunch that uh, I've seen firsthand, and everybody has, that the Ravens love to let people back into games in the third and fourth quarter.
They sure do.
And division game on the road, um, like Jesse said, a lot of times you'll probably split with, even if like the Bengals might not be as good as anybody thinks they are or thought they were.
Yeah.
I could see them sneaking this one out. I'm gonna go with the Bungles.
Yeah, I think I would agree. I think Jay's persuaded me on that. I think I agree.
All right.
Bengals.
Oh
I'll I'll
fuck, that means the Ravens are winning.
I'll stick with the
Yep, for
Ravens
sure.
on that one. I'll probably take the Ravens.
Good pick. Good pick.
Um, Buffalo and Houston. This is an interesting game. That is going to be a hard one to pick. I feel like I don't know.
I think I like Buffalo to rebound. I'm just
I
not. I haven't seen enough out of the Texans yet.
I agree. I probably would pick Buffalo, but it does seem like one of those that like it could probably go either way if Houston also rebounds and starts looking a little bit more like a well-oiled machine. They haven't really shown that yet. Buffalo's
Where's the
good at
game play? Is it in Houston
it
or
is
Buffalo?
in Houston.
Hmm.
This is
In
one that
Houston.
if it were in Buffalo, I would probably take the Bills. But Stephon Diggs revenge game.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. No, I'm
It, I
sticking with
think
the Bills.
I think for that reason, if it were in Buffalo, the fans are so rowdy. I'm not sure if they would cheer him or boo him, but I think it would err on. They would probably cheer him pregame, but then as soon as the game started, they would be cheering like just the shit they would be getting and saying would
Yeah.
be so deep in his fucking head. But if he's in friendly territory and he's in Houston, I think they'll scheme for him and they'll feed him the fucking ball.
He'll definitely catch like 3 balls for 8 yards. Yeah. I think I agree that Buffalo should win this, but I also feel like this is two teams that like really need to show that they can beat another decent team. So it could go either way. I don't know. I will pick the Buffalo Bills on that one though. Next one is the Colts and the Jags. Wow. Aren't you just setting the alarm for that one?
Where's this game played?
That is in Jacksonville.
Oh, I love the Jags. The Jags are due to win. I ain't picking Anthony Richardson. Give me the Jags.
In
Done saying his job.
Jacksonville, -3 is the spread. Oof. Boy.
Jags favored?
Oh yeah.
They're favored.
They're favored by
Jesus.
3 points, which I'm pretty sure is the default you get for being at home. So yeah.
Oh man. No, I'm taking the Jags. I
Yeah.
think they have to win the game at some point. It's a division game. The Colts aren't that good unless they put Flacco in.
I
Then
was
they're
gonna say
fucked.
Well,
I'm gonna take the Colts based solely on the fact that Anthony Richardson is made out of paper, and Flacco will probably play in that game at some point.
Then I'd
yeah,
be worried.
I was just about to say I will put an asterisk on that. Well, actually, I'm just going to take the Colts because even if Anthony Richardson plays, he'll probably get hurt again, and then they'll just put
Yeah,
Flacco in.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's that.
You
Yeah,
guys are scaring me already.
yeah. If Flacco plays, it's a dub. I don't know. That's
Joe
we've seen it.
Flacco is elite.
Elite man. The next game is the Panthers and the Bears. Um, Also another one you're just setting an alarm for, aren't you?
Can't say that I am. Can't
I
say
think
I
the
am.
Panthers could win that. I probably actually would go with the Panthers as long as they are rolling with the old Red Rocket. I'll go with them.
This is one of those games that you will not see unless it's like a highlight on the red
Yeah.
zone channel.
And you
Yeah, and
won't
it'll be
see
like a
that
pick
either.
six.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it'll be like a pick six or like a
Yeah.
defensive touchdown or something,
Yeah.
because it will not be like, oh, the Bears are driving and they're inside the 20, or the Panthers are. You will not hear those words on Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
I think I'd probably still pick the Bears though. Like I don't know. I feel like how long is Andy Dalton gonna actually be a quarterback? How old is he at this point? He's up there.
Yeah.
There's a reason he's not starting for anybody except for the Panthers, but
Caleb Williams is just going on like a Randy Orton 2004. When he was doing the Legend Killer shit, like fucking Caleb Williams is just going around beating the fuck out of old guys right now. He kicked the shit out of Matt. Well, he didn't kick the shit. He kicked the shit out of Matt Stafford last week, and now he's coming for Andy Dalton's old ass.
Oh yeah.
Just for
taking all the
fun.
old guys
I just
out.
want to see. That'll be fun to see if the Bears can go. They play Trevor Lawrence next week.
Oh no.
Not an old quarterback, but we're.
Yikes.
I'm
Yeah.
not
I'll go with
playing
the
well
Bears.
one. Yeah.
I'll take Carolina just for shits.
Love it.
You just want to be a contrarian.
I'll probably actually pick them in the poll. I don't know. We have Miami and the Patriots. Wow, this slate for week
Jesus.
5 is rough. Boy.
Can we just go to next week?
Yeah, literally, just fast forward. Can we sim these?
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess Patriots on that one.
I
They
can't.
are.
I don't think I can pick the Dolphins to
Well,
win a game
yeah.
at this point. I really can't.
Yeah.
The Patriots are
Yeah,
favored by a whopping 1 point.
Vegas doesn't know either. They're like, don't watch.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, just don't bet on this game, please.
The Patriots should win, and I'll pick them. But God, that's just going to be like.
Yeah.
That will be the epitome of a train wreck. Just horrifying, but you can't look away.
It literally might be 12-9. Like
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, if that. It might be like a
Yeah.
9-6.
Bold of you to assume one team might get into field goal range for fucking.
That's fair. How are the Dolphins getting across midfield more than twice? I don't know, but we'll see.
It ain't gonna be Snoop Huntley or.
Maybe if he can hit Tyreek Hill on at least one pass, they'll
yeah.
get across midfield.
Yes, I think we're all probably up Patriots on that one, just by default.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arizona and the Niners.
Put the Dolphins in your parlays.
For sure.
Arizona and the Niners.
Oof.
I actually think Arizona wins this game. The Niners are favored by 7.5 points, but I think that Arizona has a little bit of a bounce back. They get back into like a little bit of a groove. If they're gonna do it, it'll be against a pretty decimated Niners team, I think. Why not?
Yeah, I'd have to check the Niners injury report to feel like I'm more confident picking the Cardinals, but I don't hate it. It's a division game. I could certainly see it.
Yeah, the 7.5 point spread is, I like to do a little upset parlay every week with like 3 or 4 picks in it. I'll probably put the Cardinals in there. I like it.
Okay, so Fred Warner did not practice. George Kittle did not practice. Chris Conley, Yetter Gross-Meadows, or however the fuck to say it. I feel like Jesse. Trent Williams, they were just giving him rest. But yeah, Fred Warner and George Kittle are not practicing as of Wednesday. So
Yeah.
A lot of names on there, but I feel like a lot of them played last week. So
Yeah.
barring anything unforeseen, they're probably going to be pretty decently healthy.
Yeah, I think this is just my upset pick of the week. That I'll stick my flag in Arizona on this one.
I could see that, but I will give. It's going to be like a closer game than it should be.
Yeah.
But I'll give the 49ers a slight edge just because they are at home.
Yeah, I would agree, unfortunately.
Fair. I don't know that I give the 49ers a 7.5 point edge like Vegas
Oh,
has,
that's
but
asinine line. But take the
I
Cardinals.
would say like 4.5, 3.5.
yeah, that's what I'd be
7,
closer
though?
to that. 7.5 is crazy. That's kind of
Yeah,
crazy
yeah,
that's their line.
That's actually pretty disrespectful.
Yeah,
I'll be
honestly.
I
honest.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably because they got blown out last week.
So take Arizona on the
Cardinals.
spread. Anyways, we got Denver and Vegas after that. the Raiders go to Denver to play the Broncos and Bo Nix
They
Hey, where's
still have
that game
not
at?
beaten.
in Denver.
It's in Denver. They have still not beaten us while we have been the Las Vegas Raiders. So
Oof.
it's still on the line.
Denver is favorited by 2.5 points.
I did look up we were talking about it earlier. The Chargers, Steelers, Broncos, Vikings, and Jets are all the top 5 teams in scoring points and points allowed against. The Chargers have allowed 12.5. The Steelers have allowed 13.5, and the Broncos have allowed 13.8.
Yeah.
So our offensive line is in tatters right now, and we're
Well,
shuffling
that scares me.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it scares me too because we were just starting to run the ball last week. Apparently, Alexander Madison's going to be our number one. That's says the guy who I'll put my clown makeup on because Samir White was going to be the big deal.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, I did it last year with Michael Mayer. I'm just a fucking idiot. I fall for it every year. It's my goddamn fault. But Eddie Hoozle, I can't take the Broncos as long as we haven't lost to them as a franchise yet. So I just think that's going to continue. We're just never going to lose to them ever again as long as we stay in Vegas.
I just got a notification on my phone saying that the Broncos are wearing the throwback uniforms. Does that persuade your opinion?
I think that's
Okay,
a
the
curse
ones
against
with
them.
the D on their head.
Yeah, that's Well,
You
I mean
see
that
Bo
was
Nix
back
coming
when
out in that, you're like, oof.
Well, that's a bad omen. Bo Nix is not John Elway, and that's what they're trying to do here. So
Well, they know they haven't beaten you guys as the Vegas Raiders, so they're like, well, we need to go back into the past and bring out these puppies. Maybe we can get a win here.
yeah, and remember when we used to kick the shit out of them when they first had Elway too. I mean, yeah, remember those warm and fuzzy times. I'm taking the Raiders.
um,
Try not to act shocked.
I
We're
don't know.
not.
I guess I like Denver here. I don't know. Like you said, like the offensive line being kind of decimated, and I assume Minshew's still starting. Is that the case, as far as you
Yeah,
know?
but I will say he looked better last week, but
I mean, not that it really matters or makes a difference in my pick personally, but
it's not that I think O'Connell's the more talented quarterback. I've been on record saying that, but
yeah,
the offensive line has just been so patchwork that it didn't matter if one of us was back there.
yeah.
He's got 3 or 4 seconds to make a snap decision or move up in the pocket or do something with it.
Yeah. I just feel like this Denver defense is probably going to show up enough that the Vegas offense is going to have a struggle to put any points on the board, and Denver looks like they might be able to start getting some points on the board. Um,
I don't know. Like,
so
60 yards passing.
yeah, 60,
yeah.
like, I don't
Well,
know.
I
Like, I
mean,
feel
I
like the
don't
Broncos
disagree.
are going to win the games that you don't expect them to. And because people might expect them that they have a chance to win this game means that
Yeah.
they're definitely not going to win the game. So I'm going to pick the Raiders.
All right. Packers and the Rams. Uh, Probably
Oof.
Packers pretty easily here. I don't know. The Rams just do
I,
not look good. But the Packers also didn't look great last week either. So
they were getting stomped by Minnesota
yeah,
until they just started chucking it like
yeah,
crazy at the end. But man,
yeah. I
the Rams
probably
are
just go the
slowly getting
Packers.
healthier though. Like, I don't know. I feel it's in Los Angeles. Not that they have a home field advantage or anything, but I don't know. I feel like the Rams need it more. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of leaning Rams, honestly. Like the Packers are good, but it's just like I don't know how much. Like how good are they? I don't know. Like I was disappointed in them getting destroyed by the Vikings. It
It
kind of like
also is a matter of too, like, is Jordan Love actually 100%?
it felt a little early,
Yeah. So
personally, for him to come back. But
does he need a? Will he look a little bit better this week? That's kind of what I'm pivoting on there with that
I don't know. This is just one
with
of
the
the games that
Packers.
I had just have like a weird feeling about. There's not really a great reason to pick the Rams considering how decimated they are, but I just have a weird hunch that the Rams are going to win, so I'm going to pick them.
I could see it. They're traveling to the West Coast, but the Rams have absolutely nobody at corner. Like Tre'Davious White, if you've watched any Rams games, his poor old tattered corpse is just getting beat and DPI holding every fucking play they throw at him.
Mm-hmm.
Something tells me the youth of you could throw. I think Christian Watson has a high ankle sprain, so he's out a couple weeks. But they still have Dobbs, Jaden Reed, and Wicks.
Wicks, yeah.
So I feel like they're just going to rotate, just be like, okay, who wants to fucking roast the old man? Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be elder abuse, and I'm going to take the pack.
All right, and then we have the Giants in Seattle. I imagine this is probably a pretty resounding Seattle.
I thought you were gonna say Giants for sure, but
Yeah. The Seahawks are favored by 6.5 points. Mind you, that is less of a favor than the Niners have over the Cardinals.
Yeah.
In case you want to just go back to the disrespect on that line.
that's really bad.
Jesus
I don't
Christ.
know. I think Scotty Hurst might still be in here, so I think I'm going to take the Giants.
Yeah, I imagine he probably is in here. He did say in the chat earlier, "Go Seahawks." So, I mean, the Seattle.
It might be too late for the old man, but now this is one that I'm not. I believe in the Seahawks. I think they're better than people are giving them credit for, but this is one of those games that the Giants just seem to keep giving people like bloody noses, and they seem to be like last week. They shouldn't have been in that Cowboys game on paper, but they only lose by 5 points. This
Yeah.
just feels like even though it is a West Coast game and the Giants have to travel, I'm going to take the Giants, and I will probably look stupid, but it is what it is.
All right. Dude,
No,
I
I can't pick the
assume.
Giants to win a game. There's no way.
Yeah.
I do feel like it'll probably be sneaky, like a high-scoring game though, because I just don't believe in that Seattle defense after what
Yeah.
I watched.
Right.
But it is the Giants, and they're running Devin Singletary out there, so I
The
don't know.
Giants
We'll see.
are getting Malik Neighbors going. He looks
Well, yeah, he got a
nuts.
concussion though, and
Yeah.
if they don't
Oh
have
yeah,
him, then
that's
they
true.
don't
I
have a
forgot about
chance.
that. He did die at the end of that game.
Yeah,
I did forget about that. He actually may not play, I guess, right?
I feel like it'll be a stretch
Yeah.
considering. Well, I guess what is that? A Monday night or
It
is that a
is
Monday?
Sunday afternoon.
Oh, okay, never mind. There's a chance, but I feel like there's also probably a better than not chance that he doesn't play. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a rookie. Why would you?
nah, you can't.
Yeah.
Usually, if you get a concussion, you're usually not playing the next week.
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't really matter, right?
Actually, can I just go ahead and change my pick real quick? Because
I suppose we'll allow that.
Neighbors did not practice, and neither did Devin Singletary.
Oh,
So,
oh boy.
Who's their backup running back?
And yet the
um,
Seahawks have less of a spread than the fucking Niners. So
This feels
yeah,
like a big time, like Kenneth
and
Walker is going to have a million
Brian
yards.
Burns and fucking Wandale are both fucking limited too. So no thank you.
Oh,
No,
wow.
they didn't
Yeah.
practice either.
Oh, good. It is
Oh,
Wednesday, so
no.
it's early on the
Yeah.
reports yet. But
Yeah, seems like a Seattle win to me.
yep, no doubt.
Yeah, I'll reverse course on that one.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Malik Neighbors had a concussion. That literally didn't even cross my mind for a minute there. I forgot about that.
Yeah, because I think that's what kind of killed the Giants was.
Yeah.
I think they were like moving the ball a little bit, and yeah,
He was doing great. He looks fantastic. I mean, it really blows for him
Like,
that
imagine
Daniel
if
Jones
Daniel
is throwing
Jones.
to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine if he were anyone else.
But imagine if the Giants still had Saquon Barkley and Malik
Yeah.
Neighbors, but
Yeah.
they just had to pay Daniel Jones instead.
Yeah. All right. The Sunday night game is Dallas coming to Pittsburgh. This is a tough one for me. I mean, Pittsburgh's favorited, probably mostly because it's at home. I think that Pittsburgh can win this game. I will probably pick Pittsburgh. Dallas just doesn't look good this year, and I don't know. I mean, if Dallas looked good, I wouldn't be picking Pittsburgh. But I'm sorry, the Cowboys look like ass. So
They are also like Micah Parsons
Yeah.
isn't going to play. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
DeMarcus Lawrence is out.
DeMarcus
multiple
Lawrence
weeks
is out.
also.
Yeah, their defense is completely just decimated. Our defense is looking good if they come back from whatever the fuck they showed up as last week.
Yeah, well, you're not running into Flacco every week, so
That's true. That really does throw a wrench in things, I swear.
you just can't prepare for that.
Yeah, you really can't. I
Right.
mean, how are you supposed to, as a
That
defense, know?
completely stationary, immobile quarterback. There's
Yeah.
just nothing you can
Yeah,
do.
what are you gonna do? No, I mean, I'd take Pittsburgh on this. If Dallas were a team that were worth a shit, I'd probably pick the other team, but sorry, the Cowboys look like shit.
If the Cowboys were capable of running the football, I think that I'd like them a lot
Well,
better in this
yeah,
game, but they're not. They have nothing.
yeah.
Like,
They literally
if
have
Dak's
CeeDee
dropping
Lamb.
back
Brandon
constantly,
Cooks
Well,
is
like,
not
I mean,
playing either.
let's be
yeah,
real
so,
here. The Steelers' offensive line is all rest in peace.
Yeah,
God rest their souls.
yeah.
And this is, it's Najee versus Zeke
Yeah.
on
not,
Hey,
Sunday
hey
night.
now. Don't forget about Cordell Patterson, who looked amazing last week. That
yeah,
Is
motherfucker
we,
was
he
getting
hurt?
like 15 yards. He is hurt. Yeah, he's limited in practice, I think. He may have not
Yeah, he
practiced
might play.
today because it's Wednesday, but I think
Yeah, that. I think it's
he'll be
illegal to
okay.
make senior citizens practice on Wednesdays in
Yeah,
the NFL as
yeah,
well. So,
pretty
usually
much.
just a nice rest day.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
How
I
bad? Go ahead.
I'm gonna go. This one is so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not an easy one.
I see. You know what? I could easily see this being. This is going to be Chris Boswell versus Brandon Aubrey.
Yeah.
And
Except for the
because
fact that Dallas doesn't have a defense right now. They're all dead.
I think they have a decent enough defense. Because I mean, let's be real. You have to stop Pickens and then just basically keep Fields from running on you. I think
Yeah.
they can do that well enough.
We'll see.
But,
I don't know.
My concern with that is that Mike
oh,
Zimmer is their
don't be a
coordinator.
fucking hater.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here
No,
shitting
no,
on you. I'm
no.
just giving you my opinion.
No, I agree. But I'm just saying that like Dallas just isn't looking good, and they're like all dead on defense. It's like like all of their good players on defense are dead, and they
But
don't
How
have.
again,
confident are you in the Steelers' offensive line? Is what my concern
Well,
would be.
I mean,
yeah,
that's the question mark. Is we'll see.
That
yeah.
matters maybe a little bit
Um,
more.
yeah.
I just and like we've talked about, this is just a fucking weird year. So yeah, in a perfect world, Steelers should probably win by like 10 or 12 points, but this is not a perfect world, as we know.
It's not. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. It ain't all sunshine and rainbows and titties everywhere.
I think the edge just
Uh,
comes that it's a home game. Really, I mean that and like Dallas being so hurt. I mean, our offensive line is a question mark, but
Give me the boys on the road just to be a hater.
do it.
I'll take the Steelers, but I can't
Um,
take the Cowboys.
That
yeah.
gets me a pick back on both of you because I figured
Yeah.
that's the direction you were going to go.
And finally, Monday night is the Saints and the Chiefs.
I'm just gonna start and say I think the Saints are gonna win. I think these injuries have to catch up with the Chiefs eventually. Like this feels like such a weird game to me. Like I don't know, man. I could just easily see the Saints coming in there and just running all over. Well, maybe not running all over them because the Chiefs' defense is good, but I don't know. Like I just don't know how the Chiefs are gonna move the ball.
Derek Carr knows how to win in Kansas City, baby. Saints
That's
are going to
also
win.
true. Yeah, Saints.
All right, I am also gonna go with the Saints on that one.
Wow.
Wow.
Which means we're fucked.
Well,
I did not see that.
Chiefs are 4-0, and like they're
Yeah, they're
destined
not gonna
for
win them all.
like they're destined for something, and
I don't love that it's in Kansas City, but I still don't care.
when Derek
Well,
Carr
yeah,
has
and
Devontae Adams to throw to on Sunday, that's or on Monday, you know.
hey, for the Spencer Rattler in a second round pick, I'll talk to him about it.
I swear to
Oh,
God, dude, that would be the most hilarious thing. Your dad would just die. I
oh
think
no,
if you guys got the Rattler.
there's already people throwing it out on Twitter that's like an actual idea
Oh
that they
my
should
God.
take. And if he wants to go to New Orleans, that's probably he's going to be part of the package. It's going to be written into the
Yeah.
stars, and he's going to be arranged.
Yeah, that
For
will be
some
that will
stick.
be so funny.
See you in the playoffs.
Okay, so that was next week. The only other thing we wanted to do tonight was go over our rankings. So we're gonna start. These are Jesse's team rankings. I don't see anything crazy here. The Lions being not a Super Bowl contender is a little surprising to me. I mean, that's pretty
I just don't
standard, but
believe in Jared Goff.
and I'm actually kind of I'm also surprised that the number one pick contention only has 4 teams because I feel like my rank list, my ass
Really?
teams at the I have so many in there.
Or you can mixing it up
Dolphins,
with the ass
ugh,
quarterbacks?
yeah. Dolphins mediocre at best
Ass
is
Well, I
Rolodex.
couldn't put the Dolphins at young and intriguing, right?
well,
Like that
yeah.
wasn't an option.
You
But I don't
can
think they're going to be the
change what
first
those
pick.
say if you would like to in the
Okay.
future, just for future reference. You can change
I just
the
kept
words
what was in there. But
there. Yeah, I mean, I think this is probably pretty standard. Missing playoff teams. Yeah, seems
I just
right.
don't. Yeah.
Um,
And honestly, if Washington keeps playing the way they do, I don't think the Cowboys are even going to make the playoffs.
I like the potential wild cards. The only one is the Bengals. That's
I
my
just,
only question.
I just can't give up on the Bengals. I don't know why. I'm just
Yeah,
still on the Bengals.
everybody says that they're just shitty in September. So,
They usually
we'll
are.
see.
That is
So
true.
Um, but yeah, I mean, do you have any comments on these rankings here? I figured we're gonna do this and then we'll come back in like 2 or 3 weeks and see how our rankings have changed.
and the Bills being Super Bowl contenders might be like questionable at best, but I had to put someone there. So
Yeah, you have to put someone there. That's kind of where I was as
and
well.
I don't feel
Uh,
super great about anyone right now, to be honest. Like I get
yeah,
that the Vikings are 4-0, but it's still Sam Darnold out there. So
yeah, it's really tough. Uh,
Hey, he's balling. You can't even
he
hate.
is, but it's
I'll say
September.
I have more faith in Sam Darnold than I do the Bengals. So.
I don't know.
Next,
I'm just
you're,
gonna die on the
you,
Bengals
you,
hill.
you keep saying it's September, but it's time to wake up Green Day because it's
Yeah,
actually
it
October
is
2nd.
October now.
Well, yeah, but when the last game was played, it was still September.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Fucking Technical.
So
Just
here
throwing that out
is
there.
Jace's rankings for teams. Super Bowl contenders. You got Minnesota in there.
Wow.
Sammy Dimes.
You think
Yep.
Sam Darnold's a Super Bowl contender?
This is just one of those fucked up years. And I mean, remember there was a year where it was like Brady, Bortles, Foles,
Yeah.
and fucking
Yeah.
Case Keenum in the conference championship.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I could see
they
it.
just like Carly said. This is very much like this is right now.
Yeah.
This is not
Yeah,
down.
this
You
is
know,
yeah.
Well,
down the
yeah.
road. 2 weeks from now, this could very much be
We'll
shelved.
see how things go, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I had a lot of
an absolute
lot of
shocking revelation that the Dolphins may be missing the playoffs. I love that in the missing playoffs teams.
yeah.
I think so.
Yeah,
I probably could have moved
At least
them
you
down
have
to
the Cowboys
mediocre
in
at best, but you know they. I can't. I feel bad calling them mediocre at best because it's just unfair to them that their quarterback has
is dead.
macaroni and cheese for a brain currently.
Yeah.
You know. Like,
And
I
if
would
he comes back,
say
maybe. But
one of the
yeah.
couple of the other things I see here that is the Colts as a potential wild card you've got there, which is interesting. I guess that's assuming that Flacco continues to start for them.
Yeah. I just like, kind of like Jesse said. I'm such like Anthony Richardson. Like he has the flashes of like
He should be
inaccuracy and
good.
stuff. He has the tools. Like it's
Yeah.
all there. But he just can't stay on the fucking field.
Yeah, he should be good.
And you know, but on the bright side, either Richardson's gonna rise to his ceiling, or Joe Flacco will take him to the fucking playoffs because Joe Flacco's elite, as you will see in my quarterback.
Yeah. And then the Jets as a playoff team. You still got the belief in Rodgers, huh?
Well,
that's
I
more
think
belief than I have.
Yeah.
because now that's more just with the 3 wild card teams. Like somebody has to fucking make it,
Right.
and you're more likely to see like a team from every division than 2 from one division. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Jets still have a good enough defense. I think they will figure it out. You know, Rodgers is old. It's early in the season. Give him a little bit of time, and he might have Devontae Adams. Who the fuck knows?
Right.
That's true.
That's
Wouldn't
true.
rule it out.
Yeah, but I think we're pretty similar here. Let me go to mine. So here
So you
is
guys both have the
mine.
Lions up there, don't you? Jeez.
I basically the way I looked at this was Super Bowl favorites being what I think the matchup, like my Super Bowl
Okay.
like matchup favorites being, and then basically the you know other teams that I think could be in championship games. Obviously, the NFC is up for grabs, but probably the Bills or the Ravens, depending on how the Ravens continue to do, as the championships are making it deep playoff runs. For playoff teams, obviously, I think the Vikings are going.
Yeah,
And you're what universe are we in that I put the Steelers in as a playoff team and you've got them as a potential fucking wild card?
Well, only because
Are you okay?
The Ravens are likely going to, surpass us at some point. So it really just kind of depends on how things go with the rest of the
Are they
division.
though?
I mean, I
They
would
can't
like
hold
them
on to a
not
fucking
to.
lead in the fourth quarter. I mean,
I'm just being realistic here, okay? Like
that's a good way to do it.
we
and
listen.
and
I'm
so am I,
hopeful
and
for
that's
the
what scares
Steelers.
me.
I'm hopeful
Those
for the
fucking do
Steelers, but
dirty
I still
good.
feel like they're you know, I mean, we're only 4 weeks in. I still feel like it's a little bit of a question mark. I like what I see every week, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm sure they'll move up
Why
in
am
my
I sitting here
rankings.
talking? Why am I talking the Steelers up to you? What the fuck is happening?
Yeah,
But
what is
other than
happening right
that,
here?
I need a beer.
Everything else pretty similar.
yeah, I feel like everything else I'm pretty much around there. I mean, I threw the Bengals in as
Is
a
that bottom
potential.
line just say ass?
Yeah, ass. That
Okay.
is that is Chicago, Miami, Colts.
Wow, if I would
I
have
was like,
changed.
I was doing this. I'm like, why do I feel like every fucking team is going in the ass category? Like they're all just ass. Like
I mean, that's
I wanted to
reality,
put the
though.
Browns and the Cowboys in there, but I'm just like, yeah, I guess they're
I got too many.
mediocre.
You gotta put them at
Yeah, I'm
mediocre.
like they get a consolation prize of not being completely ass, I suppose. But
That's fair.
A lot of
um,
booty cheeks in the league.
Sure is.
yeah, so there are my rankings, and then I'll just go
Wait, is
to
that
my
the Texans having the Texans? What does that say?
missing the playoffs.
Missing the playoffs.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, I mean,
I have them
they'll probably
missing the
win the division.
playoffs,
So.
but I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll
Well,
see.
yeah, but the Jags, the Titans,
Yeah,
You're gonna say the Bengals are a wild card over the Texans.
Well, listen. I'm going by how
That-
the teams
As
seem
Look
to
right
me.
now.
Yeah.
as my co-host says, that's certainly a choice.
I I I thought about doing one where we ranked like the divisions how we think they're gonna end up at the end of the season. But
We could
instead
do
I
that
just
too.
kind of thought that this was like I thought this was more of a like open-ended. I'm not really
Yeah.
accounting for divisions. I'm just thinking about the team themselves.
Right. Okay.
So this is my quarterback list. Pretty standard, I guess. Josh Allen is clearly the best quarterback in the league. Mahomes remains a top 5, even though, I mean, you got to put respect on his
Jaden
name. But
Daniels up there.
yeah,
Uh,
I mean, yeah, top 5. Has
I
shown
guess if
nothing
you want to
different
say
than that.
right now, I
Yeah,
just wasn't thinking that way. I guess.
yeah. I'm looking at it as like right now, and we'll see how these get rearranged over the next few weeks. But
how did
um,
you not put Brock Purdy in the mid category?
I was going to, but
Where'd you put him?
he is indecent.
Decent. Yeah, I
I
think
know
that's
that
where I
had to
put him.
pain you so deeply.
But
Yeah, I mean,
it's
decent is still mid. Same mid, decent.
I
I mean, what's the
actually
difference?
yeah. When I was sitting there thinking about it, I was like, well, I probably like Prescott, Love, Murray more than Purdy, and I still also have them in the decent category.
Yeah.
I love that you have Aiden O'Connell as mid, even though he's riding the bench,
Yeah.
and Minshew is ass.
Yeah. Yes, I'm aware of that situation over there. I also have Mason Rudolph in mid.
Wow.
That's where I put him in at.
I think I
Hey,
have him an
quick
ass.
question: where do you have Will Levis?
He is an ass.
Ass. Okay, ass.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good.
And I have Flacco up there in mid, obviously, above Richardson, who is in the ass category
I
until he
actually
gets it
probably
around.
put Flacco on the wrong category. I should have had him up there much farther. Next
Wait
week.
till you see mine.
But that is mine. Here is Jesse's quarterback
Mine's gonna be
rankings.
boring looking.
Going with Mahomes over Allen for the QB1, huh?
Yeah, I mean he just went.
Blazer.
I feel like this is
Josh
pretty
Allen just isn't
standard.
a winner. I mean, yeah, it is.
Also, you got Purdy in the decent category. I definitely
I
had
thought long and
Daniels a
hard
little
about
bit.
it. I had to give him at least a slight edge into the decent, even though
Yeah.
I hardly believe it.
Uh, Trevor Lawrence in mid.
Andy, you are 100% correct. Levis actually might win ass of the week the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Andy in the chat says Levis is
Well,
the ass of the week.
him and Bryce Young can share that award back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I'm like a little iffy on is like I don't maybe I'm too high on Kyler Murray, but I don't know. Some of these other quarterbacks below him, I just don't have a lot of faith in either. Like I get the Goffs are doing good on the lines, but I just don't think Goff like overall as a player is better than
Yeah.
Kyler Murray.
Right. I agree. I think Kyler Murray is probably a better player. I had Kyler Murray in the decent category myself, but yeah, I mean, I think this is pretty similar to what I had.
Where'd you have Stafford? I might be giving a lot of love to Stafford, but
Um, I had Stafford in
You
decent.
had him
decent.
in mid, I thought. Or yeah, decent.
I put him in
Oh, you had
decent.
Baker higher than me.
Yeah, I put Baker up there, and I also had Daniels higher than you, so I was
Yeah, that's fair.
a bit higher on a couple guys.
I gave love to some of the older guys. Maybe it's
This was
I was
another
thinking.
situation where I felt like so many needed to just go in the ass category.
Well, yeah.
Ooh, Andy says hot take. Goff is top 5. Is
Get
Andy's
ready.
take here?
Get ready.
Ooh.
All right, well let's take a look at Jace's rankings for this week. Oh, we have might be dead category
Yeah. Dude, I'm so
with
upset I didn't.
with Tua. Oh,
Well, like, you can't like really
you can't
put
say
him
he's
in any
ass.
category other. You can't say he's ass. You can't say he's top 10. Like you're going off of this, like what is happening currently,
Yeah.
and he could be dead. We haven't seen him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's on the sideline at least.
Oh,
Jace,
is
Yeah.
he,
you
or
did.
is that AI generated?
Yeah, that's fair. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Jace, you did agree
An
with me
animatronic.
though on Lawrence being ass.
Yeah.
That is
Maybe,
what
yeah. Where did
I
I
believe.
think I
I
had him in mid,
think you
which
put him
might
in
be
mid. Yeah.
generous.
Yes,
Um,
May Lawrence, Caleb Williams, obviously both the Dolphins quarterbacks, Daniel Jones, Levis, Bryce Young, Deshaun Watson, and Bo Nix are all in fact ass.
yeah, they are.
Had a boy, Andy. Had a boy.
We love.
Herbert top 10, huh?
I'm quite.
He
I have to say I'm a
Herbert
little
plays for a cursed
shocked.
franchise.
I'm a little shocked at your
Yeah,
mid
you're right. He is
category
a
here.
Charger.
My mid category. What about?
Rudolph, Minshew, Andy Dalton, O'Connell, Kyler Murray, and then Stafford. The disrespect on Kyler Murray right now, bro.
I believe that. I mean, Minshew is at least 2-2, and the Rams and the Cardinals are both 1-3. Am I
You
correct?
have Malik Willis above Kyler Murray.
Yes. Malik Willis is 2-0 this year.
I guess if you want to base it off
The
solely what's
statistics
happened.
back up my numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least you have Flacco where he belongs.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
that's a no-brainer, guys. Come
Yeah.
on.
Flacco
Am I the
comes
only
in.
one that, like,
That was the pick of the week. Was just Flacco obviously belonged at the top with whoever was
I
already
clearly
there.
didn't spend enough time because if I would have done the same.
But no, shout out Jared Goff. Perfect game. Catches a touchdown pass in Detroit in a big win. He's looking just as good as any quarterback this year. I put Allen up there. I know he had a little bit of an off game, but the blowouts. I know they played some mediocre teams, but there's something to be said for like really beating the shit out of them. That's what they've been doing. So.
Yeah. Andy's definitely very excited that you also had Goff as a QB1. He says, "That's my boy. Let's go."
That's right. I was.
Sam Darnold in top 5.
I mean, hey.
You can't argue with it.
I mean, I can argue with it, but
Andy's got his top 5 is Allen, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Goff, Darnold.
I was like, drop my phone.
Andy's top 5.
I would just argue that Mahomes is mostly like he's still Mahomes, and everybody's hurt, and he doesn't have any
Yeah.
weapons. But his biggest weapon has been in white and black stripes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. And Darnold, say what you want. I'm a Darnold believer. He has played. The
Yeah, he
Jets
looks
just
good.
fucking ruined him, and he has finally, wiped himself free of that stench
I
and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm still stuck on his past, and I feel like I just need a few more games to like fully
Ooh.
believe in it.
Some shots from Andy in the chat
Shots
saying,
fired.
"I don't know
Shots
how
fired.
you have the turnover machine that is Jalen Hurts that high." Well, you could say the same about Mahomes.
They do
Yeah,
have
literally.
very similar turnover numbers, but
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my Hertz was very much in between, but my top five and my top 10 is very much like Jesse said.
Yeah.
It's just like there are guys in there like Fields and Carr. Like I want to believe, but they're not. They're not in there.
Well, that's like when
That
I'm looking at it, it's not like you're gonna
if
put Herbert over Hurts or Mayfield or like Lamar Jackson. I'm not gonna put
I
him over
mean,
Hurts in terms of like
let's
a quarterback.
we'll circle back in 2 weeks, and if Hertz is still struggling, I may knock him down a tier or two. But
Yeah.
that'll be in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we will revisit in a couple weeks on our
it is
rankings.
hard for it to look good whenever you have literally nobody on offense last week. So,
Yeah.
but believe me, I've criticized him plenty.
Right.
I hate to be this guy though, like top five, and you have three above your top five, so you technically have seven quarterbacks in
Yeah.
your top five.
Yeah, I did
Yes,
also
but
pay attention to that.
I did
but
too.
if you add up how many I have in the top 10, the top five, and then your QB1, it adds up to as many as I should have. So
Okay.
they're just a little bit dispersed. It was a weird week, and I feel like you almost had to have like two QB1s, almost like an AFC and an NFC.
Yeah.
And then obviously Joe Flacco's the best quarterback in the league.
Well, yeah,
So you
He's
have to
elite.
put that
I'd
up
give
there.
that one a pass. So
So
Yeah.
Flacco would have normally been in the top five, and then it would have made a little bit more sense.
I'm like, who the fuck's 15 up there? But now it's Flacco.
Yeah.
You know who it is.
Yeah, I knew who it is. Why was I even asking?
Not bad
Silly.
here. Yeah, so we're all pretty well on the same page generally. We'll see how these go. We'll come back in a couple weeks. I mean, we could do this. We could go over these every week and see what's what's changed. Or every other
Either
week,
that or
something
like
like
maybe
that.
quarterly, like every 4 games, go
Yeah.
back over it.
Yeah, I'll just pop in, see what our rankings are looking like. Just
Maybe,
going with a new
there's
slate
like
and see how
if
different
anybody
it is
has
from your old
like
one.
just keep track of your own, and if there's any like big like shifts,
Yeah.
we'll call it the shifts in the market.
Yeah.
If we're gonna use that term
Yeah.
for teams or quarterbacks. Like say fucking a week from now, I could be like, or 2 weeks from now, I'd be like, Josh Allen, fucking, he's shit on
He's
toast. He
washed.
ain't any fucking good. And
Yeah.
so it could all change in a hurry. Yeah, if there's a
Sure.
big change, we'll let everybody know.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything we wanted to talk about today. Is there anything else anybody wants to mention? Anything anybody wants to go over before we hop off of here? Managed to keep it a manageable amount of time here. Let's see. An hour and a half. We're just at my
Okay.
high water mark, so I think we could probably
Well,
cut that down a little
I
bit.
still just want to say at the quarter point of like the first quarter of the season, the kickoff rule still being completely irrelevant is the biggest disaster of the season so far. Like, good God.
Yeah, everybody just booting it out of the back of the end zone and taking touchbacks now.
Yeah.
Yep, it's completely irrelevant. So I'll be interested to see what they do next year because it's still going to
Gonna have to
continue to
change
not
it.
be a play.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate that we have to sit and watch that because they won't change it mid-season.
Yeah,
That
that's a
is
wrap
the
for now.
Shout out to our number one fan, Andy Stewart.
Yeah, we love you,
That's
Andy.
right.
All right. Well, we will catch you guys next week, same time, probably around 8:30. We're trying to cut this down a little bit because I ain't about being here till midnight every Wednesday, so we're gonna cut it down a little bit, um, shorten it up, hit the stuff that actually really matters. I think the rankings were fun to do. Andy's got all his opinions in the chat there, so
Yeah.
rankings were cool. We'll keep going with that, and then yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Ray John, motherfuckers.
Yeah, Ray John. Right.
Right, right.
Alright. Let me do this.